Alright. Everybody, take a drink. My choice today is a poppy, orange flavored. Not sponsored by anybody. I just need to drink water. I just need to drink liquids while I'm doing this video because it's going to take a while. So, please enjoy. We're reading my book today. Yay, us! Also, I tend to ramble. Also, the chair squeaks. And my bed's a mess. Funny. And we got eggs. A tragically beautiful collection of poetry about trying to navigate life through the lens of a teenager. I started Buried Within when I was 12 as a way for me to vulnerable. It's supposed to say to be vulnerable, but either I didn't put it or it got erased because that was my millionth time writing that. Well, we all make mistakes. It became like a diary, a place I can go to feel understood. By the time I turned 17, it was more than that. It was my whole life. Some of these poems are a fantasy, but some of them were my reality. I want to share these with you now, at 19, not out of greed or the need to be noticed, but to show people that they're not alone in their tragedies. Yay! Shall we begin? Yeah. Get comfy. It's gonna be a long one. All right. Buried Within. Dedicated to my grandfather, a man I miss dearly. Table of contents. Life without you. 6 to 27. Darling death. 28 to 42. Am I drowning? 43 to 59. Love, what a tragedy. Tragedy? Love, what a tragedy. 60 to 71. I have a disability. 72 to 77. Who am I becoming? 78 to 89. Little girl gone. 88 to 92. Adolescence. 93 to 103. A little reminder. 104 to 106. Acknowledgements. 107 to 108. You like my little computer voice there? Or do you hate it? I don't know. This book may contain serious topics like grief, death, gun violence, as well as other forms of violence, struggles with mental health, and self-acceptance. Life without you. Grief. How you've consumed me. Let's hope no one can hear me. I picture you. When I close my eyes, I picture you. I picture the way you used to hold me. I picture the way you used to watch sports. I picture the way you used to laugh. Then I picture the way I lost you. You couldn't remember me. You couldn't look at me. You couldn't speak to me. You didn't hug me. You didn't laugh with me. You were there one moment and gone the next. If I had known sooner, maybe goodbye would have been easier. Next one. Time is a killer. Time is a killer. It makes you think you've had enough of it, but you never will. Time waits until you feel safe again. Then it destroys your happiest memories. Time takes without warning. You'll forget your loved one's voice, the way they acted, how they smiled, and how they smelled. Time takes away every memory you've ever had because at the end of the day, time is a killer. Hold on, take a drink. Yes. All right, we're back. The faceless corpse. Love just ends in disappointment. Think about it. You put yourself out there, usually to get heartbroken, get married, grow old together, knowing one of you has to live without the other once your partner passes away. Have children, knowing one day they'll outlive you, or you'll outlive them, imagining the life they never got to live. Die. Die knowing one day you'll be forgotten. Just another faceless corpse that rots underground. As we grow older, our memory begins to fade. We forget who we once were, who we once loved, if we were ever given the chance. We remain faded memories in our loved ones' minds until their final breaths. But where is the closure? We live, we die, we forget. We might get lucky and have our stories passed down, but even then, the story can be changed from the original. What happens when our story stops being told? Nobody knows, because one day even those who never stopped going to their loved one's final resting place become just like the rest. Faceless corpses. Fun fact, this is actually one of the first ones I ever wrote. Seasons. I used to love summer. The sun dancing across my skin, the lighter my hair got, the months off school. Now it just reminds me that you're gone. I used to love fall. The leaves under my shoes, the colder breeze, the infamous sweater wearing. Now it just reminds me that you'll never celebrate another year. I used to love winter, the snow falling on the ground, the holiday cheer, the cookies in the kitchen. Now it just reminds me that I'll never hug you again. I used to love spring, the beautiful flowers, the warmer weather, the smell of honey. Now it just reminds me that nothing stays the same. Life moves on. People live, and people die. I just wish you didn't pass away. Can't read today. Emma Paula. It was raining the day you died. I wanted to cry too. Like the sky, but no tears left my eyes. I didn't want my last memory of you to be how it felt when I lost you. I wanted to remember how it felt to live with someone like you, someone who carried the stars in her eyes. I wanted to remember dancing amongst the flowers with pinkish petals that matched your rosy cheeks. I wished for the same thing every day since you left, to see you again. But for now, all I have is fading memories of a girl I once knew and a garden of amapolas. And this is a picture my friend drew of me. I think we were in science class like 3 years ago, maybe. But yeah, she's also a really good artist. Big brother, happy birthday. It's weird saying that to someone who's no longer here, let alone someone I've never met. But you are my brother after all. Sometimes I feel guilty for grieving you, for the time we never got to spend together, for not being able to witness the amazing person I'm sure you would have grown into. I mean, if you hadn't died, I wouldn't be here. So what right do I have to grieve you? Your mobile hangs on my bedroom ceiling. It's probably clouded with dust by now, but one day I'll clean it off and hang it above my own child's crib and read them stories about appreciating every moment, because that's what you would have done if you had the chance. Happy birthday. I love you. Open wounds. Grief is an open wound. You think it's over, then one day something reminds you of the pain you buried deep inside your heart, and everything you've kept hidden comes spilling out. It's like you're losing them all over again, and every time it takes pieces of you and replaces them with a numbness you cannot explain. A feeling I wish I never had to experience. But grief has torn me apart, like an open wound that never truly heals. It sticks with you, creeps behind you, like a dull shadow of a person you used to be. Like the dull shadow of the person you used to be. Grief never leaves you, no matter how much you beg for it to. Actually, one more. Pretty good. Just wasn't expecting it to go down so fast. The hardest part. When someone dies, people grip your hands, give their condolences, and wish you the best. When the gathering ends, you think the hardest part is over. But in reality, it's just begun. You have to go home to an empty house, full of pictures of a person who's no longer here, full of the person you once were. To the public eye, you have to pretend that everything's okay. Since you're sick of hearing, "How are you?" and "I'm sorry for your loss." Because at some point, those caring words become meaningless fibs that someone else says to make themselves feel better instead of you. The hardest part is when life moves forward without you because you were frozen in time, living in a reality where they're still alive because you don't remember what life is like without them being here. The 5 stages of grief. 1. Denial. I didn't want to admit you were sick. Didn't want to admit that I'd lose you sooner than later. 2. Anger. I blamed myself for your death. I threw glass at walls because it was easier than letting you go. 3. Bargaining. I spent my nights begging the stars to bring you back, hoping one day my wish would come true. Depression. When you died, you took a piece of me with you. I wanted to be numb, so I wouldn't have to bear the weight of losing you anymore. 5. Acceptance. You're gone, and there's nothing that can bring you back. I understand it now. I understand that every holiday will hurt because it's another one without you. You lived your life the way you wanted. You were ready to go, and I will forever cherish the time we had together. My star in the sky. I'd like to think you're a star now, so when I'm lonely, I can look up. I'd like to think you're a star now, so when I'm lonely, I can look up into the night sky and see you. I can think of the memories we once had, even if we just sat in silence. You always lit up every room you walked in, and now you can do the same with the sky, brightening the night with your jokes and hugs. I'll see you soon, my star in the sky. Whew. How do teachers talk all day without losing their voice? They should get so much more money. Money. After everything, I'm all cried out. 6 months have passed. I still feel this overflowing emptiness filling my heart and lungs, turning me into someone I can't recognize. How long will this last? How many more memories of you will I lose as time goes on? How do I keep myself from breaking even more than I already have? I'm so tired of hiding how I feel. I'm so tired of begging you to come home, even though I know you never can. Crying won't bring you back. Nothing will. I just want everything to stop hurting. Stuck. The sky is still dull, but the grass has grown back since you left. The sun still shines, but nowadays I prefer the rain. The flowers still bloom, but I don't see the point in collecting them. The seasons continue to change, but I'm stuck here in this house with fading memories of someone I once loved. Everything is changing. Winter is passing. Snow is melting. Branches have fallen, but to me, nothing has changed. In my mind, winter has just begun. Snowflakes are falling, and branches are still standing tall. You're still smiling at me, telling me to keep warm due to the season's chill. But just like the seasons, everything changes around you without you even noticing. I don't want to move on without you, but now I feel like I have no choice. Time is no longer frozen. Everything around me is changing. I am changing too, grieving and growing up, like you had done while you were alive. Hole in my heart. Doesn't feel like it's been that long since you died, but it's almost been a year. Doesn't seem like much has changed since you left this world, but it has, or at least I have. I feel too much, but I'm open now. I know the feeling of being alone, tortured by your mind, but I've learned that just by being there, it gets easier to let go. I've also learned that grieving you will always hurt, but eventually I will know what it's like without you, and hopefully by then I can start to heal. But it may never fix the hole you left in my heart. Beginning of the end. Ever since your death, I've been lost, searching for the person I once was, searching for the girl I prayed every night, the girl who always smiled and trusted everyone she came in contact with. I haven't found her. Maybe that's a sign I never will. We have the same face, but I cannot turn back the clock and save her from the tragedies that surround her. That is one thing we hate. That is one thing we share. We both hate losing people. I lose myself each time someone goes, and I don't know how much more loss I can take. But I understand that it's only the beginning. Moving on. I ain't moving on. Moving on from the past, the pain, and the grief. Moving on means I'm allowed to grow and forget the memories. Because I know the second I start to move on, I usually forget. I forget the memories that mattered and the things that tore us apart. Everything changes, everything disappears. I just can't ever get those memories, moments. I'm gonna start over. Moving on. I hate moving on. Moving on from the past, the pain, and the grief. Moving on means I'm allowed to grow and forget the memories because I know the second I start to move on, I usually forget. I forget the moments that mattered and the things that tore us apart. Everything changes, everything disappears. I can't ever get those moments back. I wish this wasn't a part of life. I wish that I wouldn't forget our memories. In the end, I know that this part is inevitable. I just wish it didn't happen so quickly as it did when I lost you. There we go. Yeah. The legacy of a poet. I am a poet. I am made of fractured bones and overdue library books. My mind is an endless maze only my pen can explain. My words are the legacy I leave behind, something for those I love to always look back on. So when they greet me at my grave, it'll be like I never left them, because my stories live within them, like they are buried within me. Grandma's kitchen. When I'm older, I want a kitchen like my grandma's. A circular wooden table surrounded by white Windsor chairs, colorful napkins, and cute little salt and pepper shakers. Potted plants lined up on the windowsill, pebbles placed near the dinner table. A fridge covered in Man, it's like tongue-tied every single second. Am I going too fast? Is that why? Starting over again. Grandma's kitchen. When I'm older, I want a kitchen like my grandma's. A circular wooden table surrounded by white Windsor chairs, colorful napkins, and cute little salt and pepper shakers. Potted plants lined up on the windowsill, pebbles placed near the dinner table. A a fridge covered in letter magnets and family photos. It would be something from a childhood memory, something I wish my children could experience as well. It would be somewhere they'd always feel safe, loved, and welcome. That's all I want for them. Papa, how I miss you. It's been a year since I've written anything about you. 2 years since you passed away. I'm still a teenager. But I feel like I've aged so much in the time that you've been gone. My smile is slowly returning. My laugh has gotten louder. And my eyes have started gaining color once more. I'll graduate high school in a year and start achieving every dream I've ever had. I'll miss you for the rest of my life, but I'll love you more and more as the days pass. Thank you, forever and always, your granddaughter. Peanut butter fudge. I was never a big fan of fudge before I met you, but you taught me how to make it. Your family's specialty was peanut butter fudge. It was never going to work between us. We both knew that. I've never believed that I'm worth loving and you wanted more than this town could give you. But I still make peanut butter fudge every year on my birthday because it reminds me of you. I watched from the window as a group of kids played outside, and I was reminded of what we could have been, the parents we would have been, the kids we would have raised. Instead of throwing it away like I usually do, I gave the plate of fudge to the couple watching those kids and took a drive to see you one last time. I'm sorry you never made it out of this sorry excuse of a town. Death got to you first, but I won't let it get to me. Maybe that family will create memories with our recipe that we never could. Haunting memories. When I lost you, I turned grief into lust, hoping it would fill the emptiness inside me. But it only left me broken. I fell for the good guys first, those whom I adored, but didn't think they liked me very much, so I turned to the guys who used me for my body, generosity, and gullibility. I never did or sent anything to them, but I still feel shame every time their names are brought up. I lost respect for myself every time I begged them to come back, because I couldn't understand why I wasn't worth loving. Why isn't my heart cherished the same way my body is? Why can't I ever seem to be enough for somebody? Why am I still haunted by these memories of the person I used to be if I've learned my value since then? Alright, how was the first section? Pretty good. Seriously though, props to teachers who talk every single day. That is a lot. Next section, Darling Death. I wish I understood you, Death. My questions for Death. What's it like to die? Will I die in peace, or will I die in pain? When I die, will it be lonely, or will I see my loved ones again? Will it be quick, or will it be horrendously slow? Maybe these questions will never be answered, but these are my questions for you, Death. Please be kind to those I love after I'm gone. Death. Death has never terrified me. My aching bones are begging to be saved, begging for a breath of air to reach my lungs, begging for that chance to say goodbye. Although death does not scare me, it follows me like a shadow, taunting my every move, waiting for the moment I finally break. At any moment, death could snap its fingers, and those I love would no longer be here, proving death always has the upper hand, while also reminding me that I'm not invincible. When death comes for me for the last time, I will not plead, I will simply follow, showing the Grim Reaper that even broken people know how to survive. I fought until I couldn't, and this time, death didn't win. Fight or flight. If given the choice between fight or flight, what would you choose? Fight? Fight until you have nothing left. Fight until you can no longer breathe. Fight until you are grasping at fading memories. So would that make flight the last stage? A point where you've run out of places to hide. A point where I'm tired no longer sounds convincing. In a way, you've chosen both. You fight with every bit of strength you have, and at the end of your journey in life, you choose to fly. I love you, whether it's the end of your journey or it's just the beginning. The colors that killed me. I don't like the color gray. It reminds me that I'm getting older and my time will soon be coming to an end. I don't like the color red. It reminds me of blood and how one day it'll no longer run through my veins. I don't like the color yellow. It reminds me that the sun will rise again, but I will not. I don't like the color orange. It reminds me of the flowers placed around my grave that will only die. I don't like these colors because they remind me of how little time I have left on this earth. It is because I'm talking too fast. That is why I keep getting tongue twisted. Darling Death. Death. You don't have a face or a name, yet it seems like I've known you all my life. You follow me like a shadow follows the sun, or how a boat follows the sea. Are you waiting for me to finally give in or continue the cat and mouse game we've been playing since my birth? Sometimes I enjoy our visits. It's a comfort knowing one day. It's a comfort knowing I will be with you one day. Other times I am begging you to let me stay a little longer. I will never know if you've listened to me or if you've kept me alive just to torment me in the future, but I hope I've been a worthy opponent. Sorry. What good is sorry if children still end up dead and nothing's being done to save them? The pleas from families who have dealt with the pain of losing a child goes ignored, so another kid dies. Suicide, murder, shooting. The cycle continues, time and time again, until it can't be ignored anymore. This has to be changed. We can't keep losing our lives to save your foolish pride. How are we supposed to be remembered if we haven't lived long enough to make a legacy? Maybe I should try water. Oh, I don't like water. It's really cold. It's not really cold, but it needs to be. Weeping willow tree. I sit under the willow tree day after day, wondering where I went wrong. Why does the world seem so calm when I feel so broken? The willows cry with me. They sense my sorrow. The willows hold me desperately as I scream in the empty field. I weep for them, for the souls we lost. I weep because the trees can't anymore. I weep for my willow tree. She has lost too many souls, but nobody notices her pain, because to them, she's just some tree in an empty field. How we doing? Doing alright? Alright. A house without warmth. She is falling deep into the darkness, deep down and gone. Her mind is at war. Her mind was at war, and she was on the losing side. The voices in her head told her she was nothing. If she disappeared, not one soul would look for her. It was a powerful feeling, never knowing when the end would come. Soon, now, never. It remains unknown. The monsters inside her head made her feel cold and dreadful, like a home without warmth, abandoned and forgotten. So she was left to fight the tides alone. It was a constant battle of darkness and drowning waters. All right, we got this. Wish. Sometimes I wish the ocean would just swallow me whole, so I wouldn't have to hurt anymore. I wish the waves would take away my sins, take me away from this tragic tale. I wish the sand would bury me so I wouldn't have to see the disappointment on their faces. I wish the sun would cut through me like a blade. I wish, I wish, I wish. I wish to stop these awful thoughts from filling my mind. I want to breathe without thinking it'll be the last breath I ever take. I wish to be hopeful for a new beginning. I wish. Make it end. Most days I am afraid of waking up. I am afraid to face the world because I am scared of who I am becoming. I used to smile every time I saw a tree. I used to collect flowers and leaves. I used to throw acorns and nuts, and now all I can do is watch as forests turned ash. I used to paint silly little landscapes, a field with a barn in the background, or a sunset overlooking the winter woods. Now I paint reminders of people that I've lost. I used to wear bright colors and homemade bracelets. Now I wear muted tones, hoping to blend into the background. I am afraid of what I am becoming, because soon enough I will be nothing but fading memories in somebody else's mind, like these moments have become in mine. Oh, this is lunchroom etiquette. A chip bag exploded today. It made a loud popping noise. Everyone seemed to hold their breath, waiting to see if they had mistaken the sound for a gun. I looked for an escape, knowing that I probably wouldn't make it out alive. So I looked at my friends, silently promising them that I put myself in harm's way just to give them a little more time to get out. I look at the others, the ones I haven't spoken to in all these years, and wonder what will become of them in the next few moments. When we realized it was only a bag, cafeteria chatter continued. I could be a kid with my friends again, but my mind was overwhelmed by the what ifs. How could one little sound cause so much uncertainty? I want to see my friends grow up, but I can't do that if every noise sends me into a spiral. I cannot protect those I love if nothing ever changes. If things continue like they have been, the next school shooting could be ours. And then who would advocate for us? Fear and forgiveness. I forgave you a long time ago, so why does it still hurt? Why does it still hurt to think about that day and what you said to me? You never pulled the trigger, just threatened to do so, and I have lived in fear ever since. Not of you. I'm afraid of people who wouldn't hesitate to kill me because of something I can't control. But since that day, I look for the quickest exit and memorize a person's body language so I can control my tone. It's been 4 years, but I still don't understand what I did to you that made you want me dead. Maybe that question will plague me forever, but I'm okay with that if it allows me to recognize the signs and protect the people I love. Last one standing. Don't wake me up if I'm the last one standing. The last sibling, the last friend, the last one who remembers life before it was nothing but loss. If it's my time to go, let me. It's my turn to join my family instead of crying next to what remains of them. It's okay to say goodbye, even if it seems like the hardest thing you could do. All right, second section done. We're doing great, guys. I wonder if you'll meet me, so. Third section, am I drowning? Sometimes my mind is the scariest place to be. Hurting inside. Nothing at all happened. Nobody noticed it. It was as if I was frozen in time while the world kept spinning around me. As if I was a ghost in a body that was no longer mine. I've never felt so broken, yet not a single person noticed the pain in my eyes. The world keeps turning, but it feels like I'm becoming a forgotten memory, buried beneath broken promises and lying lovers. I feel like collateral damage. They're happy, and I'm slowly falling behind them. Nothing happened, so why do I care? Why would I care if I become less important to them? I lost myself, searching for where I went wrong in our friendship. But they say nothing happened. We just drifted apart. I'm not sure who to believe, my mind or them. Sunken ship. I feel like I'm drowning in society's expectations of me, trying to prove to people why they should like me. I can never say the right thing or act the way they want me to, like a ship without an anchor, a disaster waiting to happen. I shouldn't have to change everything about myself for the approval of others, yet I do. And for what? So they can screw me over once I've done what they wanted? I just want to be enough for someone, but I feel like that ship has sailed and sunk before I even got the chance to board. Tears of a strong soldier. Nobody notices when strong people cry. They'll cover their mouths to muffle the uncontrollable sobs that come from their throats in the middle of the night. They wipe their tears silently, even though their eyes are red and puffy. Nobody seems to notice. Hiding their pain is their armor, no matter how much they're suffering. They'll hide it to make sure their friends are okay because that's the kind of people they are. They were just waiting for someone to tell them that even the strongest people are allowed to hurt, cry, feel. They shouldn't have to put on a facade. They should be hugged and praised for how far they've come, not discouraged. After all, they're just human beings, like the rest of us. Like the rest of humanity. I'm going too fast. Strength comes in many forms. It's okay not to be okay. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel, even if it takes a while to find it. Lonely lungs. Loneliness is like air. She couldn't live without it. It was deeply rooted inside her, like a seed in the ground. She was the happiest around her friends, but she still felt alone. It was killing her, draining her of all her energy. So she shut off. Turning those she loved away until the only thing she had left was the shadow of loneliness that clung to her, like a raincoat in the middle of a thunderstorm. It destroyed who she once was easily, since there was nobody left to save her from the isolated halls of her mind. Dang. Good job, past me. Anxiety and depression. I hate who I've become, especially with the two of you sitting on my shoulders. The angel and devil have long since left me. They were replaced by you, anxiety and depression. You've kept me prisoner in my mind for so many years, whispering things I will never repeat. Every decision I made is controlled by you. Every day I wake up wishing you'd never speak again. I could think freely that way, but then again, I don't know what it's like without your chains around my neck. Tear me apart. I don't know life without vulnerability. For as long as I can remember, I've been an open book, a naive girl with secrets bigger than she could handle. I make it easy for people to hurt me. I practically give them a manual. But even after all the heartache I've experienced is I still let people in, and hopefully one day it'll pay off. Here's another drawing by my friend. This is a sketch I actually stole from her notebook. I think she was trying to go for a dancing ballerina. Maybe. That's a cute little guy. I don't know how to be angry anymore. Anger is like a chain, tugging at my wrists, pulling me back into the depths of my mind. It builds up inside me like a volcano ready to erupt at any moment. It's to the point where I'm screaming at anyone who cares about me through thin walls and broken locks. After a while, my lungs ache from the pain I've unleashed, and tears fell from my tired eyes. As day turns to night, I wonder how hurt I must have been to finally let the fire inside me out. Sweet future. Numb the pain. I want to be numb. I'm so tired of getting close to people just to lose them in the end. Nothing feels real anymore. I'm still breathing, but I feel like a ghost watching the world move on without me. The only problem, I've always felt too much. Who would I be if I felt nothing at all? Would I be someone worth knowing, or would I be another stranger? Someone else passes on the street, never once glancing in my direction. The emotions inside of me. I don't understand my emotions lately. I'm always angry at the world or myself. There's not a difference nowadays. I can't stop crying over things that don't matter. My eyes burn, but I can't seem to stop the tears from falling. I used to be fearless, but now I'm always on edge, wondering when my life will fall apart. It makes me feel lost and alone. I don't know how to make it stop. I just want to stop. Stop getting so worked up. Stop crying over every little inconvenience. Stop bottling everything up. Please, just make it stop. I'm almost out of poppy. This was a full can when we started. It was about to be an empty can, but I spilled it over. Invisible decayed. My eyes are bright blue, but I think the gleam disappeared a long time ago. My skin has always been a ghastly pale, but now I'm really starting to feel like a ghost. As each day passes, I lose another piece of myself, like I'm slowly turning invisible. I don't think anyone's noticed. I don't blame them. I've created a strong facade. I continue to smile, wave, and laugh. Even my social media is bright and colorful in order to make my life seem more interesting. I don't know how much longer I can keep this up before my mask finally falls off and everyone sees everything I've been hiding. Forever an overthinker. I've always been girl, you're reading the second line. I'm an overthinker. I always have been, but I wish I wasn't. I wish I could have one day where I didn't imagine every possible outcome. I wish I didn't spend hours deciphering every message I've ever been sent, trying to find what's real and what's not. I wish I could say it was easy to tell who I can trust and who I can't. I wish I wasn't haunted by these scenarios in my head. I'd like to think I'll be free one day, but I don't know. I don't think there's peace for someone like me. I am an overthinker. I always have been, but I wish I wasn't. Still good? Still keeping up with me? That's great. For reference, we're 39 minutes in. Walls. I feel like I'm not allowed to be sad or have outbursts of anger. I have to be this happy, outgoing person all of the time. I am the shoulder to lean on, the life jacket in the storm, the glue in an arts and crafts project. So when it's my turn to hurt, I hide it from everyone else so they don't have to worry about me. Even when I'm alone, I put a hand over my mouth so if someone walks by, they won't hear me crying. I wish I didn't build these walls around my heart. I want to be able to lean on others like they do me. I'm tired of doing everything on my own. Oh, I'm so tired of doing everything on my own. I just don't know how to stop. I help other people with their problems, but I'm too scared to let them help me with mine. I'm scared of being vulnerable, letting myself fall into their arms, because at the end of the day, I know that eventually they won't be there to carry me to the finish line. I'm sorry I've been so distant, but one day I hope you can forgive me and hold my hand as my walls crumble around us. Oh. I forgot I put this one in here. Unfinished canvas. I'm starting to look how I feel. My hair is knotted in clumps, my face is covered in oil and acne. Even my eye bags are bigger than they used to be. I feel like a painting that never really dries. There are always touch-ups to be done and colors to be added. It's never good enough. I feel like a swing set, overgrown with ivy. There's no one left to cling to my rope or laugh as they fly. What I'm trying to say is I'm tired. I'm tired of being sad. I'm tired of being used, and I'm tired of being forgotten about. When will I be enough? When will people stop trying to fix me? When will this world accept me for who I am? I ask myself these questions every day, but I already know the answer. I don't think it'll ever change. I will forever be an unfinished canvas, a memory not worth remembering. Two more until the next section. A war within me. I think I've finally reached my breaking point. My mind and body are at war. One fighting to die, the other fighting to stay alive. Blood flows through my body, but I don't feel anything. I am nothing but a heart being torn by this battle. I wear knightly armor, but I don't know which side I'm fighting for. So I stand in the middle of the battlefield, watching as everything unfolds. Both my mind and body riding on Trojan horses, swords by their sides. They're waiting to see who's brave enough to make the first move. Unbeknownst to them, this battle will not solve anything. It'll just cause more casualties. There is no truce at the end of this war. Just a messed up kid trying to find their way out of this fucked up storm before it's too late. Oh yeah, there's a lot of swearing in this book, by the way. Sorry if Meemaw's watching this. I know you don't like swearing. Another fight. I am a prisoner inside my mind, shackled by the chains of depression and silenced by anxiety's crushing weight. My cell is guarded by overwhelming thoughts that mock me every night and poisonous propositions. My face is covered in dirt and grime. My eyes, which used to be full of life, are now a dull gray. My clothes are ripped and discarded. My hair is clumpy and full of knots, while my food is discolored, pushed to my side. This is a nightmare. This is the nightmare that plagues my mind every time depression and anxiety take me hostage. And I fight them every day. Vulnerability and I. I'm afraid of being vulnerable. I'm afraid of letting people in, and waiting to see how they'll treat me. It's easier for me to self-sabotage any type of relationship by pushing people away or constantly apologizing for silly things, hoping it'll ruin whatever we have before I get hurt. Instead of someone else holding the knife to my back, I'm the one who's positioned it to my chest. Pushing people away doesn't protect me like my younger self claimed it would. It's only made me doubt. Doubt if I'm a good person, doubt if my friends care about me, or even doubt if I really exist. I'm tired of trying to differentiate between what's a lie and what's not. I don't think I'll ever be able to tell. Next section, everybody! Thanks for staying along! Love, what a tragedy. Sometimes I really hate being a hopeless romantic. Prince Charming. I hate that I still think about you. You never loved me. All you wanted from me was sex, which we never had. So why should I care about you? Why should I care what you think about me? Why should I care about the rumors you're spreading? Why do you still control my life when you only notice me after I stopped pursuing you? I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. But of course that means nothing to you. You thrived on being the guy I trusted and depended on. I hope I never see you again, you fucking so-called Prince Charming. Infinity. Oh, I wrote this one about my best friend. I was sitting on a beach in Florida and we were texting and she started talking about the ocean and I was like, wow, you really like the ocean, so this is inspired by her. Infinity. You are the gold hue of the sand. You are the blue in the ocean waves. You are the warmth of the sun. You are long walks on the beach. You are the reason I get up in the morning and close my eyes at night. You are my infinity. Cheers. Ah, did you cheers me? I hope so. Good? Yeah, okay. Icarus and I am Icarus. I flew too close to the sun when it came to you. I'd do it again 1,000 times. I'd gladly burn in the sun's rays just for one more chance with you. You taught me how to love, how to dream, how to breathe. You were my first love without even knowing it. And I wish you did, because maybe then we'd be more than star-crossed lovers. What? That was so scary. This is one that I drew. Look, it's a little sun. I think it's the only one that I drew in this one. I'm not sure, I'll have to look again. Orpheus and Eurydice. Orpheus and Eurydice. That's who I think of when you look at me. Knowing that we're fated. Knowing that we're a fated tragedy just as they had been. Excuse me. You're too good for me. Too much of a gentleman. I might turn your kind soul cold. If I were given that same ultimatum, I would look back just as Orpheus had. Even if it meant I'd lose you like he'd lost Eurydice. You deserve better than to become my Achilles heel. And as painful as it is to let you go, at least I know you'll be happier in the arms of someone else. That last one was one of my friend's favorites of the poems that I've ever written. That's why I put it in this book. I am not worthy. I want to love you, I do, but I am not worthy of the way you look at me. You have a sense of humor that every jester in the village would have been jealous of, and a kindness that's not comparable to anyone on this planet. I have nothing to offer you. I am a hurricane of emotions, an earthquake of destruction, and I'd be a burden of a wife. I am bold and daring, yet you look at me like I drown in the sun's rays, as if I am a shell washed up by the ocean waves. I don't want to say goodbye, but I know one day I'll wake up from this dream and you'll realize the mistake you've made, giving a chance to somebody who's not worthy of love. The last choice. Someone told me once I should be proud that I fall in love so easily, but I only feel ashamed. I fall for kind words and gentle kisses like a bee pollinates a flower, hoping one day those sweet nothings mean something, but they never do. Instead, I am met with lonely nights and crude reminders that I'm no one's first choice. I am what they settle for when they can't find anyone else willing to bleed for their attention. And by the end of our relationship, I'm wondering if it was even real, just once. Where you going? We're not done. Why are you falling? Just just once. I wish it was. Love, what a tragedy. As a teenage girl who's never been in love, but dreams to be, I'm jealous of the characters in a romantic show or movie like Dash and Lily, who without even knowing the other person, chased that mystery until they were together in the end. I dream of being wanted, loved, and chosen by a guy or a girl, it doesn't matter which. I'd even act in a romantic comedy just to experience what love feels like, even if it's fake. It sounds pathetic, I know, but I'd like to understand love before I give it up forever. Things that I love. This one was inspired by the first ever poem I ever written, which is called Things I Hate. I don't know where it is now. I don't know if I threw it away. But this is the other version of it. I love vintage Volkswagen Beetles and sweet-smelling chapsticks too. I love walking along the sand as well as the color blue. I love handwritten notes and yellow ladybugs. I love funny-looking coats as well as warm hugs. I love cherries and every kind of treat. I love rock bands as well as plaid patterned sheets. I love watching movies and laughing with my friends. I love fruit-filled smoothies as well as colorful pens. I love the moon and stars and far too many books. I love listening to my siblings play their guitars as well as odd-looking hooks. I love so many things, I cannot choose just one. I miss my old porch swings, but this poem is done. Whoop-de-doo, sounding like Dr. Seuss. Love like the movies. I am a hopeless romantic. I dream of a love like the movies. Of love letters and confessions that will have me weeping. I dream about building my future house like Noah did for Allie, and living in it until we're old and weary. I dream of riding horses with someone as the sun sets, painting pottery and birthday plates for our future children. I dream of dancing on the beach, photographing every special moment and framing them in our house. I want love like I have lived. I want adventure, tales to tell that seem unbelievable. I want support, cheering each other on as we achieve our dreams. I want to love until my last breath, but even as a hopeless romantic, I doubt it'll happen for me. Man, I'm almost out of coffee. Do not spill your water right now. Now is not the time. A rose and its thorn. A thorn? Man, I'm losing it. A rose and its thorns. I am the rose. Fucker. Sorry, Mimo. You didn't hear that? I'm so sorry. I am not the rose. I am its thorns. The broken part of the rose. The part that people are afraid to touch. The part that always bleeds while the beauty is praised. I bleed on my loneliest nights, bleeding in the hands of those who don't deserve me. Because they choose to love the flower and not the thorns that come with it. I want to be loved, I want to be cared for, but I am afraid that I'll hurt the ones I love, like other people have hurt me. Hold on, I need to go get a refill. I'm back with another half-filled water. I don't know why I always leave them half-filled, but it's water, you know. One day you'll be cold. One day. 28. 10 years from now, we'll be 28. We'll spot each other at some movie theater, miles away from our hometown. You'll still be the first guy I loved at 18, and I'll be the girl you only saw as a friend. I'll have a few more tattoos, you'll have a few more scars. You'll have a popcorn bucket big enough for 4. I'll have a cherry slushy for 1. 2 kids will come running by, begging you for sodas. I always imagined you'd be a dad someday, but I'd hoped they called me mom too. You smile, handing them a $20 bill, telling them to split the change. I noticed that they have your smile, the same one I fell in love with all those years ago, but in another woman's eyes. When they come back, we look at our tickets and walk in the same theater, but head to different seats. You'll be with your wife and kids. I'll be surrounded by strangers. But I know she'll love you the way you deserve, the way I was never able to. We're doing great. We're doing great. Forgetful kisses. Before I had my first kiss, I imagined I'd be head over heels for the person I was with, while butterflies swarmed my stomach. But I wasn't, nor did I feel anything when our lips connected. We were young, it was soft and quick. I'm worried one day I'll kiss someone again, and that time it won't be so forgettable. I'll fall quickly, I always do. I'll let them see every broken piece of me, hoping they'll help me repair the damage that they didn't break. But instead of gluing me back together, they'll tear me apart even more. And we're on to the next section. How we doing? Do you have popcorn yet? Am I entertaining you? I'm entertaining the spirits. This house is not haunted. There are no spirits here. Spirits. I have a disability. We aren't so different, you and I. I cried woof too many times. I am drowning in the sound of my screams, begging for someone to hear me. But no one ever seems to. Why would you waste your time listening to me? I am the boy who cried woof, constantly saying that I'll take care of my body, but I never do. I dug this grave, so I should lie in it. I'm getting older, and I can't deny my body any longer. This time was different. I was excited about my future. I want to live a long and adventurous life. I want to die proud of the person I was, with no regrets. But when I looked into your eyes, searching for pride and support, all I found was disappointment. Man. Public speaking, guys. How am I doing? Why aren't you ice cold? Be ice cold. Can I magically make you ice cold? Please. Pity puddle. I've spent my entire life resenting the world and everything it has to offer because I've never felt deserving of any of it. I see people younger than me achieving their dreams and living lives only meant for the movies, while I lay awake at night in a puddle of self-pity. I'm scared of putting my creativity into the world, only to have it rejected because I'm not good enough. I can't live like this anymore. Why does the monster in my head determine when or if I'll be happy? Why does my leg dictate whether or not I can accomplish something? Why can't the world see me for me? Why can't I see the world without hating it? Why can't I see the way fudge sickles? Why can't I see myself the way my friends do? I hope I can prove myself wrong one day. I just don't know when that day will be. Please be wrong. I don't want the monster to be right. I wrote all this, yet my tongue is still tied. This is the unedited version of the video. I'm choosing not to edit this. Monkey bars. I was a lonely kid. I had a lot of friends, but it didn't feel like it. I have this one vivid memory of sitting on a small hill watching my friends laughing and joking with each other while swinging on monkey bars. When I asked a teacher why I couldn't join, they said I would fall, so I wasn't allowed on them. I didn't want to tell my friends why I was upset, so I isolated myself instead. It broke my heart, but I didn't want them to stop having fun or to pity me. I just wanted to be normal like all the other kids around me. I knew after that interaction I never would be. My disability will always be the first thing people notice when they look at me, but I wish they saw my heart instead. Woohoo, we're doing great. How many more of these? Oh. Only 2 more pages. I thought I wrote more of these. Too loud. Maybe these ones are just the long ones. Too loud. There are 2 sides to me. On one hand, I'm loud and outspoken. On the other, I'm quiet and reserved. Most days, I am the latter. I'm only loud when I feel comfortable enough to be, or when I think someone can't hear me. I feel safe enough to be myself, at least until someone says, "You're being too loud." I don't like that way. "You're being too loud." People are sleeping, so I'm not gonna be like announcing myself, even though I should. It'd be way more enjoyable to listen to. Suddenly, I'm 9 years old again, sitting on a bench watching other kids play during recess while I sit alone. Or I'm 10, the last kid picked in gym class because I wasn't athletic enough to be considered a valuable player. 11, when I stayed up all night making a gift for my friend they didn't want the next morning. 12, when I stopped talking in class because I thought I was annoying and nobody wanted to hear what I had to say. When I return to the present, I don't speak again. My smile fades, and the music in my headphones gets louder as I try to hide the tears welling in my eyes. They don't think anything of it. They finally gotten me to shut up. But for a while, that's all I think about, because suddenly I am that little kid again who just wanted to be left. Me. This is not the water I picked up, but this is the water. Nope. Both are cold. Both need to be cold. Disabled. I am disabled. When people hear that word, they think I am incapable. That somehow my disability makes me less than them. Nobody looks the same. Nobody thinks the same. So why is it when you look at somebody with a disability, you think we aren't human? You label us as if we're nothing, as if our differences somehow make us broken. Then you get pissed off when our accommodations don't include you. But you fear becoming like us. You fear the stares, the ridiculing. You fear being different, yet you won't change how you treat disabled people. We're not useless. We are human, just like you. Who am I becoming? Next section, guys. I don't know who I am anymore. By the way, if you didn't catch, it's called Who Am I Becoming? I know I said that in a weird voice. Water. I feel like water when I write. Sometimes my ideas come quickly like a tsunami, and other times it's a slow downpour. My emotions find their way onto paper, and by the end of the night, I'm covered in ink and dried tears. I never know how to end a thought after I've said everything I needed to. I always end up spilling more than I intended to, like a waterfall. Maybe that's why I'm an open book, and maybe that's okay. No, I guess I still had a little more, Bobby. Next time I'm just gonna have a big I can't speak. A big bucket of ice just sitting here so I can put all my drinks in them. I'm only a name. As I've gotten older, I've molded into the person society wants me to be. I no longer wear pink tights with cats printed on them, scarves with obscene patterns, or sequin skirts. I wear ripped jeans and sweaters, partially because it's comfortable and because it makes me look approachable. I no longer go on walks or carry around my camera just in case I run into people I know and I don't look the part. It's made me realize that I have a name but no identity. I only matter when I play the character I'm supposed to. So who am I really? Will I ever find out? Or will I forever be a nobody in society's eyes? This is a lot of talking. I hope you appreciate it, because I appreciate you. You're so great. Rain boots and pigtails. When did it change? When did we train? When did we trade our rain boots for high heels and sneakers? When did I change? When did my pigtails become a messy bun? Was it when I traded my dolls for video games or overalls for pants and a sweatshirt? How come I didn't realize I was changing until I already had? Or that the people I once knew were changing too? I don't know who I am. I don't think they know either. But I miss my rain boots and overalls. Maybe even my pigtails too. I wish I could go back and live in those moments for a second longer. Time seemed simpler then. But the rain never stops when we do. Oh, nut crap, nut crap. Yeah. Dreamer doomed. I am a dreamer, but sometimes I wish I wasn't. I have so many hopes for my life and future, yet I know they're unlikely to come true. Reality makes sure of that. Our world is crumbling right in front of us. People hurt people to reach the top of our never-ending food chain instead of communicating and working through our differences. I don't want to live in a world like that. We deserve to live long, loving lives, and I am terrified that I'll never get the chance to. I've watched people work tirelessly to put food on the table for their loved ones or die trying. I don't want to run after money my whole life, just for it not to matter in the end. I don't want to worry about my future when I can be out in the world living it. Why is that so hard to comprehend? Dreamers are meant to believe. So why can't I believe in a better world for us all? Still got a neck cramp. There we go. That was a good crack. A writer's future. I have many dreams for my future as a writer and a person, but I doubt they'll come true. Who would listen to me? What lives will I impact? Will any of it make... Ah! That was so scary. Hello? What was that? I'm not sure what that was. I have many dreams for my future as a writer and a person, but I doubt they'll come true. Who would listen to me? What lives will I impact? Will it make a difference? Will any of it make a difference? I'm just a girl with an imaginative mind who writes from the heart and leaves bits of herself in each piece she creates. I am a dreamer who's lost sight of her dream, a fighter who's fought friend and foe, a child who's constantly in fight or flight mode, a woman with a voice who feels silenced. So really, what kind of life will I have as a writer? Ordinary. Sometimes I wonder if I am just skin and bones with a decaying mind. My imagination isn't what it used to be. It is no longer the escape I longed for as a kid. My body is slowly turning into my enemy, even if my stubbornness is the reason why. I've always wanted to be the first at something, but I know it's a lost cause. Maybe my writings will mean something. Maybe they won't. Maybe I'll never find out. But until that moment, I will always be a writer who's terrified of being ordinary. Still hanging in there with me? We're an hour and 8 minutes in. Failing to succeed. I will be 18 in 6 months, but I feel like a failure. I have a D in 2 classes. I don't have a license, and I can't keep my room clean for longer than an hour. Last time I cleaned this room is now. I am an overachiever who's found validation in her grades, but now I am slipping from the throne I've always known. I am supposed to have my life figured out by now, but I don't even know who I am anymore. Will it always be this way? Will I always be searching for myself between the A's and the B's? Will I ever find whatever I'm looking for? Or will I convince myself that I'm nothing more than a person who doesn't know how to succeed? Anguish. Knowing people. I wish I knew people. In the same way an artist knows their paints. or the way a musician knows a tune, but I don't know people like that. I barely know them at all. I see these people every day, but I couldn't tell you what their name is or what their favorite color is. Maybe it's my fault. I don't trust easily. But I'm still entranced by what I can learn about them just by watching how they interact with the world. I watched this older couple cross the street and walk around the block a few times. They were holding hands the entire time. I wonder how they ended up here and what they were like when they were younger. Would they have shown the same hospitality they usually do? Were they as patient as the kids riding their bikes nearby, or maybe they were as silly as the dog chasing its tail? I don't know what will become of them, but I do know that their smiles, laughter, and their ability to cherish so little will be ingrained in me forever. So many words, how we feeling, I feel great, yeah we do. You're probably doing the dishes and I'm just dancing away. Where has my creativity gone? The guitar sits next to my bookshelf, still waiting to be played, adjusting away with every opportunity. I haven't dared to try and learn how to play it since I tend to give up on a hobby when it gets hard. I did it with singing, although I sound horrible either way. And piano. I stuck with it, but now I no longer remember how to play. Too many hobbies to name, too many outbursts and tears spilled over skills I no longer have. Is this what I've become? Someone who no longer tries new things because they're afraid of failing like they usually do. Miso, come join us. Miso the cat is here. Come here, buddy. Come be an audience member. No? Okay. Is this even poetry anymore? I don't think this is poetry anymore. I'm spilling my guts through ink, pens, and paper, but it's more than that. I'm learning about myself with every brushstroke, stuff I wouldn't have explored otherwise. But am I being too vulnerable? I am an open book for strangers to read, analyze, and judge. I know nothing about them, but they know everything about me. Fiction or not, it's a terrifying thought. Oh, next section. We have... Oh! Hold on. We only have like 3 sections left, guys. Good for us. We're doing great. Little girl gone. I wish this was a reality. Shorts. I hate wearing shorts. I used to love it, but that was before I became insecure. When I wear shorts, I can see the difference between my legs, the bone bump in my knee, or even my scars. It makes me feel like I am a painting on display, except the passerbyers aren't admiring the piece of art. They're mocking it. Shorts make a mockery of me. They allow people to see the parts of me I've kept hidden or ignored. I cannot be posed like a painting. I must watch and listen to the people as they point and stare. Suddenly, the shorts I love so much don't seem cool anymore. A woman's opinion. Sometimes I wish I could replace my face or body, not because I hate them, but it would give me the opportunity to see society's mistakes through someone else's eyes. You see, society says we have to be beautiful, but doesn't specify what that may be. Be blonde, be perfect, and always smile. But Mona Lisa doesn't convey those qualities in her portrait, so why must we? We have to change our entire identity and perspective on life to make the world around us happy. When did everyone else's opinion of us become more important than our own? I don't know how. Y'all talk every day. I'm using my vocal cords today, y'all. Objects on display. I don't have the best body, but I've never been told that I'm pretty by someone who didn't just want to fuck me. To them, I am nothing more than an opportunity of convenience. Maybe it's my fault. I fall too quickly and expect so little. Sex is the only thing that matters to them, even if they have to guilt me into it. If they can't have sex, they leak nudes or spread rumors to ruin your reputation. Someone else's body is not yours to diminish. Nor are we objects to be placed on display for your fucked up amusement. Dear future me, I think you'd be ashamed to meet me. I am destined to be my own downfall, a dreamer who doesn't know the difference between fiction and reality. I want to be so many things. I want to change lives for the better. I want to make people laugh. People smile and laugh. I hope you can forgive me for wanting to fit in, for changing my style so you turned off. My light died. No! It'll keep popping off, but we're just gonna pretend that it won't, so that I look like a giant light shining. Okay, never mind. We're just gonna read like this. I hope you can forgive me for wanting to fit in, for changing my style so people stare less, for straightening my hair so it isn't called a rat's nest, for talking less so I wouldn't be a teacher's pet, and for so much more. I hope you're more like our younger self, wild, carefree, and unpredictable. I miss what it feels like to love myself, and I hope you don't make the same mistakes that I've made. Stand out, even if you're doing it alone. Someday, someone will notice, and they'll think it's beautiful. Okay, again, come on, Nick. Get with the program. I killed a fly. A life that was insignificant to my own. I felt no remorse for the life I had just taken. What if it had been me? People have threatened to take my life before, though they've never gone through with it. But what if they had? What if they had hated me so much they decided this world would be better without me in it? What if it was a crime of opportunity? I wasn't supposed to be there, but I was, and they killed me for it. Just like what I did to that fly, which could have easily been me if it was any other day. All right, we're on to adolescence. Crack, Nick, why are you hurt? Come on. You're growing up, kid. 17's wish. My birthday is coming up, and for once, I don't know what to wish for. Usually I wish for the same thing every year, but it's starting to sound more like a ritual than something to look forward to. Other people's happiness has always mattered more to me than my own. But what if I wanted to choose myself first instead of doing what's expected of me? What if I wanted the happily ever after that I've dreamed for everyone else? Happy birthday! Those around me sing as the candlelight flickers. Make a wish. I close my eyes before realizing what I'm saying. I wish for them to be happy, even if I'm no longer in their life. The same wish I've made since I was 11. Maybe next year I'll choose myself. Yeah, multiple pages on your chair. We're stuck together. A teal dress. When I was 8, my father took me to a daddy-daughter dance. My dress was sparkly teal with a giant bow in the front. I loved it more than anything. It was the first dress that made me feel beautiful. I felt like Cinderella. It's my junior year now, but instead of a teal dress, I'm wearing a pale blue ball gown with a small with a small bow wrapped around the bodice. Maybe I'm overdressed for a school function, or maybe I just want to feel like a kid for a little bit longer. I don't know if I'll stay friends with these people I've known all my life, but I do know I just want one more night of being childish and free. Before the clock strikes midnight, and I remember that I'm not a little girl anymore, nor will I ever be again. So many words coming out of my mouth. We are dancing tonight, yeah. We are dancing tonight, yeah. That's a great lyric, dude. 17. I'm 17 now. I have been for 4 months, but I guess it hasn't hit me until now that I'll never be a kid again. I'll never live under my parents' roof again, or go on late night drives with my sister while the music's blasting from the radio. I'll never graduate with my brother again, or sit with my friends at our lunch table gossiping and giggling over stupid stuff. I'll never go to the movies buying all the sweets my heart desires, or get iced coffee before school. I'll never dance in the rain or design my future house 3 hours before dawn. I'll never do anything like that I'm so used to doing, because I won't be 17 forever. Man, I need some water. Some water. Am I a great host? You enjoying this? This is silly. Writing a poem for my child at home. It's not like you'll read it or even miss me, but damn it, I'll miss you. I'll miss my bedroom, the color teal I picked when I was 13, the ink stains that cover my desk, the posters I'll soon forget about. I'll miss the kitchen, the smell of food being cooked, the sound of music coming from the radio, the random topics at dinner. I'll miss the living room, where holidays are spent, where football's always being streamed, even the messes my dogs make. I'll miss how close my siblings are, how they'll never be this close again. I'll never hear them sing in the shower or get mad at a video game again. I'll miss my parents' guidance and my grandma's commentary, but most of all, I'll miss this house, because it's been ours for 22 years, but it won't be forever, and I'm not ready to say goodbye to everything I've ever known. Crackneck, come on, you're hurting, 'cause I'm slouching, yeah. I'm just making myself laugh at this point. High school versus the real world. I'll be a senior in high school soon, and I can't help but wonder what the future holds for me, walking across the stage in my cap and gown with my brother by my side. We never actually did that. He was like the last person to go, and I was like the first person to go, because we chose teachers instead of alphabetical. All this uncertainty in front of me, I don't want to go to college, but I'll go just to prove to the world that someone like me can. I'll go just to prove to the world that someone like me could do so. I'll look at my friends and smile, hoping we'll stay in touch, but knowing we're going our separate ways. I can't help but wonder if the person I'll be in a year, will be somebody I'd be proud of today. I've spent my whole life trying to prove myself to my peers, showing them that despite my physical limitations, I can succeed just like them. But now I've got to prove it to the whole world, and it starts the second I walk across that stage accepting my diploma. How many pages left for you guys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 more pages, guys. Good for us. I hope you're not asleep by now. That would be really sad. Am I lame? These are the best years of your life. At least that's what I'm told. But maybe I'm a lame excuse for a teenager. I don't go to football games, theater performances, or even dances anymore. What? I haven't experienced that epic teenage love story I long for. Only read about them in books. I'm not very pretty, no matter how many trends I follow, or how much makeup I've got on. What am I doing wrong? I just want to live a life well loved before it's gone forever. When I was a kid, all I ever wanted was to get older. 2 days away from 18, and I'm not so sure why I rushed my childhood to get here. Maybe I was hoping people would start treating me like I'm a human, rather than an inconvenience to their perfect lives. But that was just a childhood fantasy. Strangers will see me as a freak because I look differently than they do. 18 birthday candles won't change that. How foolish I was to believe that it would. I was even dumber when I thought I could change someone's mind about me by being kind. It doesn't matter what age I am, 7, 12, 18, 96. I'll always be a monster in their eyes, and I suppose that's the biggest tragedy of all. Alright, get comfy. We're almost done, unless you're Already comfy. Then stay comfy. Our rides. The summer before our freshman year, my friend and I started a tradition of going out to eat before the start of the school year so we could catch up on our lives and everything that's changed. Last autumn, we made the tradition monthly. Now we're a week away from graduating high school, which makes me wonder how many car rides we have left, driving without a destination. Will we continue the tradition, or will I get an invitation to her wedding 5 years from now without having spoken to her since we walked across that stage? My kids will call her auntie, but will they see her every holiday, or will they only know her from a photo on our wall of a memory I no longer remember? We still do those a year later, but maybe we won't in a few years' time. You can break the cycle. I don't know you anymore. I don't know what your life looks like, or even if you're happy, but I hope you got the future you always dreamed of when we were kids. The ranch-style house you wanted your wife to build. The ranch-style house you wanted your wife to build. 5 bedrooms, but small enough you could still call yourselves a close-knit family. You wanted to teach your children how to be gentle and kind, something you never grew up knowing. Did you get the career in photojournalism? You always wanted to speak up for the voices you couldn't. You always wanted to speak up for the voices who couldn't, because you knew what it felt like to be silenced. Wherever you may be in life, I hope you made it out of that house and grew up to be different than the ones who raised you. Woohoo! Man, I really want popcorn. I don't need it, but I want it. I'm out of frame. Let me put myself in frame. Advice from my younger self. When I was a child, I used to spend hours looking at the night sky, hoping to catch sight of a shooting star. Back then, I would have wished to be loved the same way I love, deeply, fondly, and compassionately. But if I were to see one today, I wish to tell my younger self something for each year I've been alive. At 1, I'd tell her to keep smiling. She'll miss it when it disappears. 2, I'd say let your curls become wild. By 3, I'd beg her not to criticize the girl she sees in the mirror. At 4, I'd tell her to keep her head held high. When she reaches 5, I'll congratulate her on her new group of friends. 6, I'll reassure her that I still believe in pinky promises. By 7, I'll tell her to find comfort in nature. She'll get used to hiding in plain sight. At 8, I'll tuck her into bed and say it's no use crying over people who do not see your worth. 9, I tell her that water will save her life. I remember writing that and laughing my ass off. Sorry, Mimo. Laughing my booty off. And now look at me, I'm drinking 2 waters that aren't cold, that should be cold. Because I like ice cold water. When she reaches 10, I'll hug her tightly and say, sometimes friendships end, and that's okay. By 11, I'd say, there's some lonely nights ahead. At 12, I tell her to keep expressive. I think that's supposed to say keep being expressive. There are so many. I definitely wrote to keep being expressive, but that says to keep expressive. We all make mistakes. 13, I'd say the perfect body has never existed. By 14, I tell her to keep reading. She'll need an escape every now and then. At 15, I tell her to stop taking everything so seriously. By 16, I'd say love shouldn't make you feel lost. When she hits 17, I'll tell her that she's not defined by another person's words. And finally, at 18, I'll tell her that her story isn't over yet. Humans are meant to make mistakes in order to grow from them. And for what it's worth, I hope I've grown into someone little me would be proud of. And I made a mistake in that poem. So silly. Next section. Remember to take breaks and be kind. Moments in time. Put the phone away for a day. It'll be there tomorrow. Time, however, won't be. The town you grew up in won't look the same in 30 years. The town you grew up in won't look the same 30 years from now. So why not enjoy it while it still feels like home? Go to the movies, buy your favorite snack, drink, and watch the film with a couple of friends or alone. Go to an arcade, play some games, win some prizes, or take some pictures in a photo booth. Go to the library, browse the books, find one you like, and grab a coffee after. Go to a museum, find pieces from 1,000 years ago. Make up stories about the people in the paintings, and think of the architecture you'd build if you were in their shoes. Soak it all in. Just live in time for a minute. Tell me something. Why do humans choose to be cruel when kindness doesn't cost a penny? Why do we see someone who looks different from us as an invaluable asset to our world? Why do we treat the earth as if we can live without it? Why do we choose hatred over love? When will it be enough? How many lives will be lost before we change our ways? Final pen. Wow, I've talked for an hour and 31 minutes. Probably more than that, because I had to do so many takes of my intro. I kept making myself laugh. Find your way. It's okay if you don't know where to go from here. You aren't supposed to have life figured out by now. You've only just started living it. If you decide to change your major or career, that's totally fine. Sometimes the original path at 17 isn't the one you end up on. Some people leave their hometown behind and never look back. Others don't. Some people want to get married while others can't stand the idea of being tied down. Life is not a puzzle to solve, though it may feel like it sometimes. But we're all just trying to make our way in the world. Eventually you'll get there. Time for the acknowledgements. The final chapter. Boom, boom. It's the final countdown. Well, hold on. It's the final chapter. When I first started this project, I never intended for it to become what it is today. It was originally just a way for me to regulate my emotions and cope with things that I was struggling with, like the death of my grandfather. There was no manual on how you should live your life. What you do with the time you have on this earth should be your own choice, and I hope you do whatever you please. I say this because I've had a habit of not following that advice, and I've gotten rid of so many poems over the years because I was worried what others would think of it. Whether there was too much vulnerability or activism, which by the way I know now that you can never have too much of either. I've spent my blood, sweat, and tears over this. And apparently my breath, my God. Whew. Over this book. It means everything to me, and I hope you will love it as much as I have. I've written these poems by hand. Everything I do is done with care and importance. I hate AI. Yeah, I go on a spiel of how much I hate AI. I think it is destructive towards artists and the environment. I am an artist. Art should remain in the hands of artists. Our life consists of things we create. I say this because I do not want anyone claiming my hard work as their own. And as I write this now, tears threatening to spill from my eyes, I want you to know that if you ever see me in person and this book means something to you, come sit and have a conversation with me or ask for a photo. Instead of trying to take one with AI, the mere thought of that makes me want to vomit. I may say no because I'm with friends or family, but if I'm just sitting in a park bench, absolutely say something. Say anything anytime. I don't care. Thank you for everyone who's made this book a possibility. My family and friends who never stop encouraging me. Not a day goes by that I am not grateful for you. Every day I am inspired by your abilities and words. For those of you who started this project with me but did not end it with me, thank you for the experiences you gave me and the memories we made. I hope wherever you are in life, you're happy. To those who did not start this project with me but ended it with me, thank you for cheering me up when I needed a boost in the friendships we've created. To the readers who have felt something within these pages, thank you for giving me a chance and for allowing me to create something so profoundly meaningful to us all. Thank you all. Thank you. With love, Abby. And I'm done. Did you enjoy my comment? An hour and 35 minutes. Well, hope you enjoyed. Now I'm gonna go sleep.